So yung first question, Doc, is how did the project start? Like, ano yung nagiging like trigger na need natin humanap or need natin to gawin? Ano yung nagiging trigger na need nyo gawin yung app na to? Ano yung nagiging main na reason? And then, okay, let's say may reason ka na. Ano yung nagiging trigger na, we should probably do this now?
Already. Right. So, GBC Medical Abstraction is offered not just as a service within the whole Tenet organization, but also as a tool. Now, the organization is outsourcing the abstraction itself from the very beginning. But the outsource actually resides in the United States, right? So cost-wise, it's very prohibitive.
Yes.
And then knowing that GBC is already captive and is based in the Philippines, they had faith in the fact that we have healthcare professionals who can render GBC Medical Abstraction as a service. Now, let's go to the tool. The tool is also actually offered by the same third-party provider, but cost-wise, it's also very, very prohibitive, right? So when we started the discussion on the proof of concept, remember when we started discussion about what are the products of Cody and what else can you do to the organization that can, help us at least develop an application that's not just equivalent to the current application, but it's better than the outsourced tool. So from the start, there's actually about 6 of you whom we discussed as options into the organization. And then I think the discussion was relatively flawless with Cody. I think that was with Jules way back then, right? And PL. When we started about the product expectation and the fact that you can do that is very important. Now, when we started the final decision to really start the application development, Onshore is already involved, and they know that we are now sourcing for developers. And then finally, Dr. Franklin gave a nod because of 3 very important things. Number 1, siguro the Japanese branding and the fact that you have Cody development in the Philippines, and of course the initial reviews or interviews that we have done with you. Those 3 things are very important to him. So being a Japan-based organization means that there could be something there that will add to Tenet Healthcare, because you now have Japanese work ethics, something similar to that, or even Japanese ingenuity, something to that effect, right? But the bottom line there is that Japan has sourced from Cebu, and this team now will be able to discuss what is actually needed using our local dialects. And that's very important, because you need to convert the current process into an application, into a tool that will mimic the capability of our Philippine nurses. And the best way to really have that is to have somebody develop an application that's actually also based in the Philippines, because you don't have any language barriers at all. Pwede tayong mag-usap sa Tagalog. Bisaya pwede rin, pero hindi ako masyadong magaling sa Bisaya, pero we can convert that English language into a Tagalog language and then discuss what is the product expectation without having any ambiguity and vagueness in our discussion, because we know we're discussing it based on our local dialect, right? And then of course the final part of it is of course the cost, as I was mentioning. Initially we were discussing about the cost and the initial costing. If you look at it from a peso standpoint, shucks, ganun pala yung cost nun. But when we started discussing that with Dr. Franklin, they started converting. Okay, it's doable, right? So those 3 things actually made that final decision. Let's go ahead.
Yeah.